So we're going to start with Pavanamuktasana, or wind liberation, even though people call it wind removing, because the concept is that we're removing the bubbles, the gas bubbles in the ascending colon on the right side, the descending colon on the left side, and the transverse colon with both legs. But liberation is mukti, and that's why they call it, is to liberate the gas bubbles, even though Pavana is the god of atmospheric wind, not the god of human wind, so he might have been pissed that they named the posture after him.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway. So the right leg up, and with the help of Sarah, wave to the camera for a second, Sarah. Yeah. She's going to bring her right leg up, and we're going to do the pulling grip first, which is the grip that most people are familiar with. We're going to interlace the fingers, and we're going to pull the knee just to the right of center. That's how we're able to get down into that's how we're able to access the ascending colon. Shifting it outside toward the armpit or outside the rib cage is a modification that not everyone should do. So Sarah doesn't need that modification. She could pull the knee straight down to the right of center, to her chest, in this pulling motion. So the right side works like the ascending colon, the left side works the descending colon. However, if you have, this is the advanced motion now. If you get the knee all the way to the chest, and Sarah could get it down even more than that to the advanced level, then this is the advanced grip, and this is the grip that they actually use in India. She hooks her elbow to the leg and grabs each elbow over, like if we were to do two legs. It's the same thing, but this is the grip they use in India, and there's no way you could have that knee outside the rib cage if you're using this box grip, because you have to have a box between the elbows, drop your shoulders to the ground, and the shoulders. Chin stays down to the chest. So this is more of an advanced grip. But I don't want people doing this grip if they have to pull. Okay, relax for a second. I'll tell you a quick story about Bikram's wife. The first time she came to the United States, this is like 1985 or 86, she and I are in the back of Bikram's teaching, and people are doing Pavanamuktasana with their knee to the chest. And she whispers to me, "I've never seen that grip before. What are they doing?" Because in India, they do the box grip. I said, because in India, their hips are so much more open. Just generally, Asian hips are ridiculously more flexible than they are in the West. We need the pulling grip. So until you can get your knee all the way to the chest, you want to interlace the fingers and pull the knee down slowly. Do the other side so you're even. Same thing to the other side. We're going to go just to the left of center, interlace the fingers, and pull it in. This foot should be relaxed, and the leg should be relaxed. Eventually, the right leg touches the ground. The calf muscle and the thigh muscle touch the ground, but you don't want to force it. And I don't mind if you flex that right foot back towards your face a little bit. Just a little bit to create a little more of a tension of pulling the knee to the chest. And as you breathe out, at the very end of the exhale is when you pull your knee to the chest. When you're inhaling, hold it. Exhale when you're breathless, like in Salvakalpa Samadhi, you pull the knee to the chest. Because the breath takes up a lot of room in the body. If you're pulling the knee down when you're holding your breath, you're going to be stuck. Let the breath go, and at the end of the exhale, pull down. Inhale, hold. Okay, relax for a second. Any questions on one leg? So bring your leg up for a second. The question was, when he pulls his knee to the chest, should he bring his elbow toward his feet? I think toward the feet isn't necessarily correct, but if elbows in is fine, and down. Elbows in and down. It doesn't have to be toward the feet, just straight down. Okay, any other questions? Also, what you don't want to do, bring your right leg up for a second, interlace the fingers. You don't want to alternate, bring that leg down and bring the left leg up at the same time. So that leg down and this leg up at the same time without pausing. So this comes down, this comes up. See what I'm saying? We want to completely relax in Shavasana. Now bring the left leg up. So you have to release the energy back into the body. Same thing when you're finished with the left leg. Go ahead, interlace your fingers. You don't want to just now bring your other leg up and do both legs. You want to release out of it first into Shavasana completely. and then do both legs. Question. What I mean is, so the question was, what I mean right of center, what I don't want you to do is bring it outside the rib cage to bypass it unless you need the modification. But at the same time, let's look at the modification for a second. So bring it outside to the right shoulder, interlace your fingers though, but you're still gonna pull into the center line. You're not gonna stick it out there to the right, you're pulling it in, even though you've bypassed it initially and then now you're pulling it in. Otherwise, you're not gonna access the colon to put the pressure to get rid of the gas bubbles. Make sense? The question was, do people pass gas in that pose? Sometimes they do.
That's disgusting.
Over 44 years of teaching, I've experienced it multiple times. The question was, Matt's question was, are there long-term benefits to putting pressure on the colon? Yes, it's a long-term benefit to flatten it out, to get rid of those gas bubbles. Otherwise, it builds up inside, so it becomes a long-term benefit. Sarah's saying when she brings both legs in, sometimes that happens. But we do a different setup in the Barkan method. Bring your knees up for a second. Flat, arms, no, flat on the ground, arms up, chin to the chest, and we come up that way. People passing gas all the time when they do that. Come on back for a second. I don't know what it is. It's just involuntarily, boom, it comes right out. You mean that's for a sit-up or that's my sit-up. That's my sit-up. I don't do the Bikram sit-up. Just because that isolates the stomach muscles better. The question was, why do I do that sit-up instead of the straight leg? It isolates the stomach muscles better. That's the Barkan sit-up that I do. Yeah. But because Bikram does the straight leg sit-up, that's what we're doing. We're going to honor that tradition. And I don't do so many shavasanas in between that we do so many sit-ups. So after I do a certain amount of floor poses, we do 20 of those roll-ups in my class, 20. Do it again. Bring your feet, knees up, feet flat, hands to the ceiling, chin to the chest. Come on up. 20 in a row. 20 reps. 20 reps, yeah. All right, so now we have both legs up. Let's talk about some modifications first. Some people can grab a hold. They might be really tight in their hips. They might have a big belly. They can grab the outside of their legs with each hand and even separate their knees a little bit and pull down that way. The next modification, they can grab their wrists over their legs and pull down that way. Forearms would be next. Pull down that way. And then eventually the elbows. You're going to grab each elbow. We're not going to grab opposite elbows each other. That's how Bikram says it in his wonderful English. Just grabbing your elbows. You don't have to say each other. We understand. Grab your elbows. And you're going to pull the knees down, chin to the chest. One vertebra at a time. So we're going to start with the back of the neck and we'll work our way down toward the tailbone in that order. We don't want to start the tailbone down first. Then pull the knees to the chest. The chin is down. Now we're working the transverse colon to remove the gas bubbles. Wind removing or wind liberation pose. And now you can bring your legs straight up in the air. Bring your hands underneath the butt if you need support for your back. And I do this one slow too. I go much slower in the Barkan. I think we did this last session. You go down, point your toes, hold, flex. Now flex. Now come down a little bit more. No, with the foot flexed. Hold, point, flex, lower, hold, point, flex, lower, hold to 6 inches or 15 centimeters. Point your toes and now crisscross. And we do that 20 times. Stop. Flex and lower, then we work the lower abdomen in the Barkan method. But in traditional Bikram class, you can just slowly lower down after both legs. Finished. Questions on both legs here at the 26 and 2 Zora Bloom Teacher Train Program. Okay, there it is. Look at the camera. That's our episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell. Any questions about this pose, put them down below. I'm happy to get back to you, and we'll all see you the next video. Are you waving, Sarah? Bye, guys.